Hello, Steve Mills here, and it's great to be back on my podcast and sharing some more ideas and ways in which you can grow your business. Today I've got another interview, and this is with a gentleman who's not only a client of ours, but he's also, I think, a really good friend of mine. He's a real character, and I'd like to welcome Mike Wilkinson into the conversation. Do you want to kick off, Mike, by just telling all the listeners a little bit about you and your business and what you do?
Yeah, absolutely. Hi, Steve. Thank you very much. Well, my business focuses predominantly on value. So if I told you that I work with people and businesses to help them improve their revenues and their profit, really by focusing on value rather than price as their key differentiator, that will probably give you a reasonable picture of what I do. So I tend to work both across the organization and specifically with salespeople, really helping them to understand value more effectively than they do right now.
Fantastic. That's a great introduction. So we were just having a conversation, and I said to Mike, look, why don't we just hop on a podcast so we can share this? Because it was a really interesting conversation. And basically, what Mike's been doing is following up from people that have connected to him on LinkedIn, which is something that I, encourage people to do and do myself. But like everybody, Mike, would openly admit, I'm sure he doesn't always manage to make as many calls as he'd like. And I have to put my hand up and say exactly the same thing. We're not perfect, and but we are, trying to get better and better at it. And this morning, Mike had a fantastic result from doing just that. So do you want to sort of tell people really what happened, Mike?
Yeah, I have to admit to a certain degree of call reluctance, as I think we all do.
Yeah.
When we're looking at making calls to people we've never heard of or know very little about.
Sure, yeah.
The big advantage is, though, if you think about it on LinkedIn, is that if you sent out a connection request to somebody on LinkedIn and they accept, the question I ask myself is, why have they accepted?
Yeah.
And I've never had a conversation with someone who has accepted, who hasn't accepted partially because they've gone in and checked out my LinkedIn profile.
Yeah.
So that says that there's something in my profile clearly that they find interesting.
Yeah, sure.
So this morning, I had somebody who connected with me over the weekend. I looked at the little tab contact info, and in the contact info was their mobile phone number. And I looked at their mobile phone number and I thought, shall I give this chap a ring? And I started to then go through all the reasons why I shouldn't.
Yeah.
He might be busy.
Yeah.
He
might not want to speak to me, yeah.
He won't want to speak to me. And then I looked at a picture I have on the wall in front of me, which is of a telephone. And on the telephone is written the words, "Pick me up, I make you money." So
I love it. Brilliant.
I'll pick it up.
Fantastic.
So I picked it up, and the guy's name was Stuart, and I said, "Hi, Stuart. My name's Mike Wilkinson, and I just wanted to thank you because you may remember that you connected with me on LinkedIn over the weekend. So I just wanted to say a quick hello." So he said to me, "Oh, hello." So I said to him, "Look, I don't know about you, but I have lots and lots of LinkedIn connections, the majority of whom I have never, ever spoken to."
Yeah.
So I said, I now make it my business that whenever I connect with somebody, I do my best to pick the phone up and just say hello. And he said to me, I have exactly the same problem. And then I just said, look, I'm assuming the reason you connected is that you had a look at my profile and there was obviously something in there that interested you. And he said, yeah, absolutely. And from there, we developed the conversation. And within 15, 20 minutes, I hadn't asked him for a meeting, he'd asked me.
Wow.
Which was just perfect.
I'd
love to say it.
It happens every time, yeah. And this is a big company you've got a meeting with, and could be, we don't know yet, obviously, but is a fantastic lead for you. And
it's an amazing lead. It's a global business.
Yeah.
and it would definitely involve Europe and the US as a minimum.
Right, fantastic. Well, and that's really the purpose of the podcast today, to just make everybody else realise, this is not cold calling. I think that's a really important point. You're not calling people on LinkedIn that you don't know. You're calling, contacts of yours, they're almost like friends to be, but the problem with LinkedIn is, everybody doesn't really do this. It's very rare, I think, that I've got 7,000, nearly 7,500 contacts, and how many of those have called me? I can say virtually none of them. It's always been me calling them, and here lies the lesson, I think.
Yeah, I don't mind me calling them bit, and I think in terms of mindset, it is just getting over the fact, why did they connect with you?
Yeah.
They must have connected with you because they saw something that resonated with them. So you're right, you're not making a cold call. It may not be terribly warm.
No, it's a lukewarm call. That's what I always call them. They're lukewarm calls.
Yeah.
You're calling somebody that knows you to some extent.
But equally, if they then say, well, I'm assuming you connected because you checked out my profile, and they say yes, then I think you're instantly into a potential conversation.
Yeah.
But if you ring them up and you say, look, thanks very much for connecting, and they say, no, it's all right, I connect with everybody.
Yeah.
Then you
it's maybe not quite so good. Yeah.
But at least then you know.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Very good, very good. Okay, so we're going to keep this fairly short, but I just wanted to bring you that, really, I think an important point and some really good advice. Pick up that phone. It makes you money. It is something I go on and on and on to my clients about, whether it's contacts on LinkedIn, people open your email up, people who've, communicated with you because perhaps you've been to a networking event, you met them, you had a good conversation. Follow them up, pick up the phone. That's the real key. So just one thing finally, Mike. If people want to find out more about you and what you do, what should they do?
They should link in with me.
They should link in with you, of course. Yeah. But do you want to give out your website or something so people can go and check you out before they link in with you?
If they want to link in with me, it's Mike Wilkinson, and the company name is Axia Value Solutions. But if you want to check the website out before you do that, then take a look at www.axiavalue.com.
Thank you very much, and much appreciation. Thank you, everybody, for listening today, and I look forward to sharing with you some more great ideas in the very near future. Thank you very much.